What's good, e-bikers? So today we're going to talk about e-bike food delivery and what I learned putting 1,000 miles on these e-bikes over the summer of 2024, doing Uber Eats and DoorDash on them. We'll talk about my experience with the apps, how much I made, and what you need to make this a successful kind of side gig, if you will. So let's go. All right, so let's talk about why I did it first. So first I was just curious. I wanted to see what it was like, number one. And I was looking for some content for the channel, of course, always looking for content. And I thought I'd give it a try. So I started out in, I think it was July of last year. And I actually grew to enjoy it. Who knew, right? I like riding e-bikes. And to me, this is like easy money. So it was kind of a lot of fun. Something about an e-bike, using an e-bike requires no gas. So it's all profit essentially when you're delivering on these things. You get some exercise as well. You get to stay outside in the sunshine and not get stuck at a desk. So that's the first thing I'll say. Second thing, it fits my schedule too. So I work for myself. I work from home mainly. It gets boring sometimes. I'm not going to lie. It gets me out of the house. I do this on my lunch hours essentially. Like from 11 to 1 is my usual shift, if you will. So it breaks up my day, gets me out of the house, and it just makes life more interesting, I think, overall. I do it in the suburbs, so I can go as much as 30 minutes without getting an order sometimes on a slow day. So it does come in spurts a bit. So it's not, it's not the busiest job you can have for sure. If you were in a city, you'll get definitely more orders, I think, because there's more people. But living where I live, I have to, that's what I'm dealing with. That's my market, and it is what it is. So I probably do somewhere between 4 and 6 orders on a typical shift. 4 is a slow shift. 6 is more of a busy shift. So I'll bring I got my phone with me. I'll listen to a podcast or listen to series or something like that while I wait. Again, I mainly work in my lunch shifts, so 11 to 1. In the summer, when it's lighter and later, I might do some early evening, dinner runs. But I'm usually back by 6:30 if I did that. Lunch runs generally pay less than dinner runs, right? So I don't really like to go to dinner runs, but you do make more on dinner runs, just because it's bigger orders and you get better tips that way. So, but I just do lunch runs. That's my schedule, and that's what I like to do. And so the more the order costs, the more tip you'll get essentially overall. And also with the apps, there are point systems. We'll get into that in a second. All right, let's talk about how much I make on these runs. So first of all, I do this strictly for pocket change. It's spending money. That's all I think about it, right? It ain't no full-time gig, never will be. It pays for a few gas tanks. It pays for my gas for the month, a few grocery trips during the week. And that's it. That's all I use it for. And I think if you go in expectation-wise, this is like less than minimum wage, pretty much, from what I've seen. So set your expectations. It's not a good paying job by any means. It's just a way to earn some extra cash. And that's the way to think about this. Generally speaking, I work 5 lunch shifts a week, about 2.5 hours each shift. I can make anywhere from $120 to about $150 per week on there. So somewhere between $20 and $30 per shift is what I usually get. The average per delivery works out to somewhere between $4 and $5. And that's it. So that's what you can make. At least that's what I make here in the suburbs. In the city, you may make more or less, but it really depends on where you live and where you can do these rides. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about the apps I use. So again, I use Uber Eats and DoorDash now. Uber Eats has become my primary app. We'll get into that in a second. But the first thing I'll say to you is that if you're delivering by e-bike, the apps only send you orders within a certain, certain location or certain miles from your location. So usually it's 2 to 3 miles within wherever you are. So if I'm here at home and I turn the app on, I won't get orders like over 2 or 3 miles away. Okay, so they know you're on a bike because when you sign up, you can choose bike or e-bike. And if you do that, they're going to give you limited orders as far as the length of travel that you have to go. So that's the first thing you need to know if you're going to do it by e-bike. you're going to get a shorter range of orders. And if you think about that, it makes sense, right? Because you're on a bike, can't go as fast as a car can, so it's going to take you a little bit longer. Although I think I can really shave off time by cutting through an alley or a parking lot or whatever. And on the e-bike, I can roll right up to the front door of the customer's place, whether it's a business or a house. It's just it can be, I think, quicker as well in some cases. Uber Eats has become my primary app. I have achieved platinum status on that. So that takes about 300 points to achieve platinum status. And supposedly you get better orders there. The next level is diamond. I'll never hit diamond because it's like 600 points. That's essentially a full-time job at that point if you want to get diamond status. But the higher status you have on the apps, the better paying orders they'll give you. Now, been on platinum, I still get $2 orders on there, which are basically no-tip orders. So it's not a be-all, end-all, but I think overall you get like 10-20% more when you jump from gold to platinum overall. DoorDash is lunch runs are on Uber Eats. Lunch runs are 3 points each, and lunch is between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Dinner runs are 6 points each, and that's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So you can get faster points and get the platinum faster if you do dinner runs out there. But yeah, so that's the point system on Uber Eats anyway. I'm not sure what the point system is on DoorDash because DoorDash, well, I tried using DoorDash. I'm still on it. However, when I log in today, it's not letting me go online and Dash because they have too many people in my area to deliver. So when I first joined DoorDash back in the summer, when I first signed up for Uber Eats, it would not let me dash. It said there are too many people in my area. I was on a wait list. Eventually, I think back in like early October, I got on it. I was able to DoorDash for about 5 weeks. I did 50 orders. I made a bunch of bonuses. And in early November, I think it was, they just cut me off again. There's no more dashing because there's people in the area, too many people they have on the app. So I don't know what to say about DoorDash. I used it for like a 5-week period and have not been able to use it since. Where I am in my area, there are other parts of Connecticut where I live where I can dash if I want to, but not here where my home base is essentially. So I ride about 1.5 miles down the street to where the restaurants are, and that's where I dash from and deliver from. And that area is just saturated with people, I guess. So I've started to see some e-bikers on the street as well, doing delivery as well, which I didn't at first over the summer. While I was on DoorDash, I did find that it was better money overall. I think it's about 20% better, just from generally speaking. So I do think it paid a little bit more. I wasn't getting any like $2 orders, which I get in Uber all the time. A $2 order is basically your base pay and no tip, and it happens more often than I would like on Uber Eats. So not the greatest of endeavors there. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of the Uber Eats app. It just updated though. I have to check it out. I can't see where the final delivery address is until I actually pick up the order and swipe to complete it, which I don't like because I want to know where I'm going while I'm waiting for the food. I like to be able to see the address so I can kind of plan my route and figure out exactly where it is. And also, if it's a place I don't want to go, there are a couple places in my area which are a little bit sketchy. I'd like to be able to decline that order, but you can't see where you're going. They show you when you first get the order. They show you a map of where you have to go, but it's really devoid of details, and you just get a general sense of the idea of where you're going, but you don't get the address until you actually pick up the order, swipe to complete, and then the in-app navigation starts. So that's kind of a negative. On DoorDash, you can see the address while you're waiting to pick up the food, which is a nice touch. I still get too many non-tip orders in Uber Eats, as I mentioned. I get at least 1 or 2 of those almost every shift. I decline those all day long. My minimum order is basically like $4. It's like $2 a mile essentially. And yeah, there's still too many of those no-tip orders out there overall. I'm also doing some shop and deliver now on Uber Eats, and those are pretty good. They usually pay more because you have to go into the store, you have to shop. I do a lot at CVS, Walgreens, and Target, and generally speaking, they're like 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 at the most items. If it's a lot of items, I tend not to take those, but I do take the smaller items. Like I went recently and I picked up some candy for somebody. They wanted a couple of bags of Hershey Kisses, and so I got like, I don't know, $5 for that, whatever it was. It was a pretty easy shop and deliver thing. They give you a little card you download to your Apple Wallet. In my case, you just pay at the register. It's very simple, and it's pretty easy overall. Sometimes they don't have things that the person wants, so there's usually a replacement suggestion in the app. And if you can't find the replacement item, then you can kind of contact the customer and see what they want to do at that point. But shop and deliver is pretty good too. They generally, my shop and delivers are like $7, $8, $9, something like that, for like 2, 3, 4, 5 items at CVS or Walgreens. So I like to shop at places I know, where I know where the stuff is. I'm not in there all day hunting for stuff. And so, yeah, for the most part, CVS, Walmart, and Target is where I do the shopping pays. Worst part of delivering, waiting for the order. You learn quickly which restaurants take the longest. McDonald's, Starbucks. In fact, I stopped going to Starbucks because they just take for freaking ever. They hate DoorDashers and delivery riders for whatever reason. At least mine does. So I never go in there anymore. I had to wait literally a half hour for one time. And I swore I'd never go again, and I haven't since. So, but yeah, that's the worst part of this, is just waiting around for the order. Because most of the time when you get the order on the app, you're there in a couple minutes, whether you're on your bike or a car, and it's usually not ready. I'd say probably 70% of the time these orders are not ready, so you have to wait. That just eats into your time while you're delivering. DoorDash has a schedule by time where you can actually get paid by the time if you have to wait, but it's not always available. I can only use it a couple of times. It was only available to me when I did DoorDash. So is what it is, guys. So you're going to waste a lot of time just waiting for food out there. My rides of choice, I've got the Electric Expedition 1.0. This is going to get a bit of a facelift here soon, so stay tuned for that. I'm putting some knobby tires on there. I'm getting the front fork. And what I like about the Expedition 1.0 is the massive food delivery package that Electric sells. You can see here, I recommend putting a towel in there. Just a kind of a little spacer here, some foam in case you need to shove up, secure some items in here. But it's really big. I can fit multiple bags in here. And it's just a really nice food package. It comes with this kind of flat piece down here. They screw onto the rear rack of the Expedition, and it sticks out a little bit from the side, as you can see. But the Electric has the best e-bike food delivery packages of any e-bike company by far. So I have a smaller one of these too. There's a slightly smaller version, but this is the big one. I think it's 16-inch, and I think you can fit a pizza in here, although I've never tried that before. Testway X5 Pro. This is the bag I got for this. It's smaller. It's smaller than that, but you can see here I've got just a drink holder here. It's kind of dirty a little bit. It's got some spills in there. Here's the inside kind of skeleton for it. I had to make it fit. It wasn't quite the exact fit I wanted, but I made it fit. And this is the rack that Testway sells. It's like, I don't know, 12 by 17, something like that. And you can see how it sticks out on the side there in a kind of vertical layout. So those are my e-bikes of choice, and I really like both of these. This one is a little bit faster, the Testway. The advantage of the Expedition is the rear storage here. I mean, you can put a ton of stuff back here. Typically I will get, it's usually just one bag you're bringing over to a customer. But sometimes you get 2 bags. McDonald's has big bags, and so you really have to kind of fit them in here. One time I had to take this out and just let it hang on the side of my bike because I needed the space for 2 bags. But generally speaking, usually it's only one bag you're bringing to a customer, unless you're doing like a shop and pay maybe. But those are my e-bikes of choice, and that's how I deliver food on Uber Eats and DoorDash. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any comments or questions about e-bike food delivery, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one here. It's pretty cold right now, so I'm not delivering as of January, but probably in March I'll start up again, and I'll do some more videos for you here on the Crisscross channel. So stay tuned for those. And if you're in Connecticut, hit up Connecticut e-bike owners on Facebook and join in the fun, guys. I'll see you next time.